right, let's dive right in today. We're going deep, really deep into something I know has been on your mind a lot, the apparitions at Bouchard in France, December 1947. You've given me a ton of really fascinating stuff about it, and I think it would be really great to kind of unpack, what went down and what it all could mean, especially for us.
Yeah, exactly. And we've got excerpts that lay out like the whole timeline of how these apparitions happened. We've got the messages, we've got who was there, and then we've got how the church ended up recognizing this place. Like,
Yeah.
people can go there and pray. It's pretty amazing.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So picture it. December 1947, a small town in France, Bouchard. St. Gilles Parish Church. You've got World War II just
Yeah.
behind them, right? And four kids, Jacqueline Aubrey, 12 years old, her sister Jeanette, only 7, their cousin Nicole Robbins, she was 10, and then later their friend Laura Croizon, she was 8. They're right in the middle of something, well, extraordinary.
And don't forget, France was still recovering from the war. It was a time of, well, rebuilding, but also a lot of uncertainty. Maybe that adds another layer to thinking about what these events meant, especially for people of faith back then.
Totally. So December 8th, 1947, the Feast of the Immaculate Conception. Big day for Catholics, right? It's about 1:00 in the afternoon. And Jacqueline, Jeanette, and Nicole, they're praying the Rosary at the altar.
Like, think about it. Praying the rosary, it's such a fundamental part of how we express our faith. And then, boom, right in the middle of it, Jacqueline has this vision. She sees this beautiful lady, all in white, hands clasped together, a rosary on her right arm, and there's an angel next to her holding a lily. It's classic imagery.
Yeah.
The Virgin Mary, the heavenly messenger, powerful stuff.
It is. It's powerful. So they tell their story, and guess what? Their friend Laura, she saw it too. Both the lady and the angel. But get this, Laura's older sister, Serene, nothing. Didn't see a thing. And where this all happened is pretty specific too. This corner, right between the altar dedicated to the Virgin Mary, they had this stained glass window of Our Lady of Lourdes there, a statue of Our Lady of Victories, and a window up a few feet off the ground.
Of course, like you often hear with these kinds of things, not everyone believed them right away. Their mom, the parish priest, Father Seguel, and the head teacher, Sister Saint Leon de la Croix, they were skeptical. But Sister Marie de l'Enfant Jésus, she seemed to believe them right off the bat.
And you know what's interesting? When they questioned the girls, each one separately, their stories all matched up. They were really consistent.
Right, right. And on the very first day, the apparitions, they didn't stop there. The girls went back to the altar, and the lady showed up again, but this time she looked sad. And she spoke. She said, and I'm quoting here, "Tell the little children to pray for France, for her need is great."
Wow. Asking for prayers for their country, their nation, that's a big deal, especially after a war like that. It makes you think, right, what should we be praying for today? For our own countries, for the world?
You got it.
Yeah.
Heavy stuff. But the girls, being kids, they just went right to it. They asked her straight up, "Are you our Maman du Ciel, our Heavenly Mother?" And she said, so gently,
Oh.
"But of course I am your Maman du Ciel." Oh, and the angel, he chimed in and said his name was Gabriel.
Gabriel, like, wow. And then, get this, Mary, she asked to kiss their hands. Jeanette and Laura were too small to reach, so Jacqueline had to lift them up. And she said later that they felt like they weighed almost nothing when she lifted them. All 4 of them, though, they felt Mary's hand, her lips. Said they felt warmth and like, solidity, real.
It's a physical interaction, right? Something you can touch. You hear that a lot in these stories about Mary appearing to people. It's like heaven reaching down to earth, if you believe it, that is.
And before she disappeared, kind of like in this silvery mist, she asked them to come back that evening and the next day. And afterwards, they all had these shiny white ovals on their fingers, but they faded away before they even got back to school.
Yeah, like those little signs, they come and go,
Yeah.
right? It's like these graces, they're not meant to last forever in that way.
Then that evening, about 5:00, she appears again. But this time, it's after they put the Blessed Sacrament back in the tabernacle. It had disappeared during benediction. It's like there's this connection, right, between the Eucharist and Mary being there, at least for us Catholics.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, she comes back right after they put the Blessed Sacrament back. It's like a spotlight on the Eucharist, on our faith, on the whole service.
Mm-hmm.
And for those who might not know benediction, it's like this short service where we adore and get blessed with the Blessed Sacrament.
So the next day, December 9th, all 4 girls are back at the church. They're praying Hail Marys by the altar. And suddenly, this glowing golden sphere pops out of the wall.
And it unfolds, right? It unfolds into this silvery curtain. And behind it, there's a grotto. like a rocky cave. And the descriptions, they get even more detailed now. Mary, she's wearing this white dress, gold trim, a blue sash, a white veil, but it's got these special terrain designs like a local style, And she's bathed in this golden light, blue eyes, long blonde hair. She looks like a young woman, maybe 16 or 17, standing on a stone, and there are 5 pink roses on it.
And on the rocks, written in gold letters, it says, Ô Marie conçue sans péché, prie pour nous qui avons recours à vous. That's, O Mary, conceived without sin, pray for us who have recourse to you. It's like the miraculous medal, the dogma of the Immaculate Conception, Mary being totally free from original sin right from the start. It's a big part of what we believe.
Absolutely. It's right there in the vision, connecting it to, Mary's special holiness, her role as our intercessor.
And the angel Gabriel, oh man, his description is vivid too. He's kneeling there, bathed in this intense white light, wearing a robe, rosy white with gold trim, blue eyes, long blonde curly hair, a lily in his left hand, right hand over his heart, white wings with gold edges. He's just like gazing at Mary.
Yeah, like he's in awe. It's a picture of pure reverence.
Yeah.
Like this is holy ground. It fits with how we think of angels, how they relate to Mary.
Then Mary, she holds out the golden cross of her rosary for them to kiss. Jacqueline, she has to lift the little ones up again so they can reach. But this time, they say the medal felt cold. And they felt this sadness coming from Mary, like a deep, deep sorrow.
Makes you think, doesn't it? The warm hand the day before, now a cold cross. Maybe it's showing the 2 sides of Mary, the loving mother, but also the one who suffers with her son.
And then she makes a sign of the cross, but really slowly. It took 2 whole minutes. The girls, they copied her, of course. And there was this woman, Madame Trinson, she saw it too. It's like, that sign, it's so basic to our faith,
It's fundamental. And she does it so deliberately, so slowly. Like she's teaching them something, reminding everyone there, and us now, how important the cross is.
After that, Mary says she's going to tell them a secret in 3 days. But then she gets this serious look and says, pray for France, which in these days is in great danger. She asks for the priest to come at 2.0 the next day, bring kids, a crowd, everyone, and to build a grotto with statues of her and the angel. She even promises a blessing on anyone who comes there.
It's a call to action, right? She wants people to gather, to pray together, to recognize what's happening. It's not just a private thing anymore.
So December 10th rolls around, and Father Segel, he doesn't show up. But there's still about 20 kids and 30 adults there anyway. They heard about it, they believed. And Mary and the angel, they appeared again from that golden sphere.
Even without the priest there, the people, they still felt called to come, especially the kids. It's like this movement was starting from the ground up.
And she asks for hymns and prayers, tells him to come back every day at 1.0. Father Segel finally told the Archbishop that day. And get this, that same day, this huge communist general strike that was supposed to happen, it got called off. Just like that. Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's one of those things. You have to be careful about making connections, but it's hard not to think maybe it was a kind of sign, a little miracle, maybe, because of all those prayers. And remember, this was right after the war. There were still communists in France. It was a tense time.
Yeah. Okay, so next day, December 11th, even more people, maybe 150. Mary asks them to sing the Hail Mary, and she wants the girls to kiss her hand again. Jacqueline has to lift up the little ones, and people are always surprised by how strong she seems to be when she does it.
It's like the same actions keep happening. The prayers, the touching, Jacqueline's strength. Maybe it's a way to show people this is real,
So Jacqueline's mom, you can't blame her, right? She wants proof. She asks Mary for a miracle. Mary says, I haven't come for miracles. I've come to ask for prayers for France. But then she turns to Jacqueline and says, tomorrow you will see clearly, and you won't need to wear glasses anymore. Like a promise. Just for her.
It's interesting. Prayer is still the main thing, but she gives this personal sign to Jacqueline, like bringing her message down to earth into their lives.
And the next morning, Jacqueline can see perfectly. No more glasses. Father Segel sees this, and he's just blown away. He says, it's true. She's come down to us. He calls the Archbishop right away, and the Archbishop tells him, you better be at the next apparition. It's like now the church is starting to pay attention.
Yeah, it's a turning point. Father Segel goes from doubter to believer, and he says it out loud for everyone to hear. He involves the higher-ups in the church. It's getting serious.
And that same day, in the afternoon, another apparition. Mary asks, do you pray for sinners? They say yes, and then she leads them in 10 Hail Marys. But here's the thing. She only says the first part, Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. The angel Gabriel's words, right?
That focus on praying for sinners, it comes up a lot in Marian apparitions. It's like Mary's heart, It's full of compassion for everyone, and she wants us to help. And that detail about her only saying the first part of the Hail Mary, that's interesting. Like, what's the meaning there? Something to think about.
Oh, and Jacqueline asks for other people to be healed. Mary promises happiness in families, and she asks again about the grotto. It's like she's tying it all together, right? Prayer, families, that special place.
Like, it's all connected. Praying can bring peace and joy to families, and the grotto, it's like a center for those graces.
All right, December 12th. Even more people now, like 300. And this time, Mary shows up wearing this crown of light. It's got 12 rays, all different colors, kind of like the woman clothed with the sun in Revelation.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a powerful image. Like, it adds something new to how she looks.
Yeah.
Maybe it's showing her queenship or how glorious she is. And all those different colors, they could mean something too. Like God's grace, it comes in all forms, touches everything.
And her hands, they're lower now. And on her chest, it says Magnificat in gold letters. That hymn of praise Mary sings in Luke's gospel. It's all about humility and faith.
Yeah, the Magnificat right there on her chest.
Yeah.
It's like connecting these events to Mary's own prayer, how close she is to God. It's a reminder to praise God, to be thankful, to remember he lifts up the humble.
Then she asks them to sing the Hail Mary again, and then to say 10 Hail Marys, but again, she only says the first part. And she asks again, do you pray for sinners? They say yes. And she goes, good. Above all, pray much for sinners. And again, she says she didn't come for miracles, but for prayers for France. It's like, that's her message, loud and clear.
It's the heart of it all. Praying for sinners, praying for France. She says it over and over, like she wants to make sure we get it. We who are there and we who are hearing about it now.
December 13th, even more people, like 500. They keep coming, drawn by their faith, This time, Mary's crown is gone. She asks for prayers, invocations, hymns. Like she wants them to really participate, to make it a community thing. Jacqueline asks for another miracle, and Mary just says, later. And then she says, tomorrow will be my last apparition. Just like that. It's like the end is coming and everyone knows it.
It's like, okay, this is it. No more miracles for now. Just focus on this moment, on prayer, on being with her.
And then December 14th, the last day, the church is packed. 2,000 people inside, even more outside. They're all praying the rosary while they wait. And the apparition, it lasts for over half an hour.
That's a lot of people.
Mm.
It shows how much these events affected the town, the whole area, really.
Mm.
And them praying together, it must have created this powerful atmosphere.
Mary asks for prayers and hymns again. Jacqueline reads some messages they wrote, including one that asks how to comfort God for all the suffering caused by sin. Mary's answer, pray and make sacrifices. It's classic, it's how we understand what it means to be a Christian.
Exactly. It's about redemptive suffering, offering up our pain, our sacrifices to God. It's about how powerful prayer can be.
And then Mary asks them to sing the Magnificat. And Father Segal, he leads them. He believes now, remember? She tells again how important it is to pray for sinners. And then, Jacqueline, she asks for a final sign. Mary smiles, like a kind smile, and says, before I go, I will send a bright ray of sunlight.
It's like a promise, a confirmation. Something for those who were there and for us now to know that this was real.
And as she blesses the crowd, this beam of sunlight, it comes shining through a window on the southwest side of the church, right on the spot where she was standing. And it's December, winter, People later said there's no way that could have happened naturally. It's like God put his stamp on it.
Yeah, that ray of sunlight, it's like a miracle, a sign from heaven to end it all. It seals the events at Lille Bouchard, makes them even more powerful for those who saw it and for us who are hearing about it now.
And with that, Father Segal gives benediction. It's over. This incredible week, it ends with a blessing.
But it doesn't end there, right?
Yeah.
They had to investigate, make sure everything was legit. So in January 1948, they questioned the girls, all 4 of them, over 72 questions. And their answers, they matched up perfectly. It's like their stories were solid. They really believed what they saw.
Right. And the church, they took their time, like they always do. But in 1966, the bishop, he said it was okay to call her Our Lady of Prayer at Lille Bouchard.
Yeah.
That's a big step, right? It's like they're acknowledging something special happened there.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And people, they kept being drawn to it. In 1988, the Archbishop of Tours, he reaffirmed that it was okay to have this devotion there. And then in 1992, a theologian, Father Vernet, he posted his whole study on it, like a deep dive into the theology behind it all.
And it all culminated, really, on December 8th, 2001. Another feast of the Immaculate Conception. The Archbishop of Tours, he officially said it was okay for people to go on pilgrimages, to Lille Bouchard, to have public worship there, to call on Our Lady of Prayer. It's a big deal.
Huge. And it didn't stop there. In May 2004, that same Archbishop, along with a bunch of other bishops, they all said that the message Mary gave, It lined up with what the church teaches. It's like they gave it their blessing.
So when you look at the messages, it's all stuff that's really at the heart of being Catholic, right? Praying for France, this country with such a deep Catholic history. Praying for sinners, remembering God's mercy, our responsibility to help others. Praying the Rosary, that's what the girls were doing when it all started. And building a grotto, a special place for prayer, like Lourdes, like all those other places where Mary appeared.
It's all connected, you know.
Yeah.
Worrying about the country, praying for people who need God, the power of the Rosary, creating holy places. It's all part of our faith.
Mm.
And then there's that sunlight, you know.
Mm.
It's hard to ignore.
Right, and they built the grotto, they put up the statues. It's like Little Bouchard became this place where you can go and really feel close to Mary, to pray, to ask for her help. It's powerful stuff.
It really is. And for us, as Catholics, everything we've talked about speaks to us. You know, Mary, Gabriel, the call to prayer, the Rosary, the Magnificat, caring about sinners, all those signs pointing to God.
Mm-hmm.
It's all part of who we are. And Our Lady of Prayer, that name, it says it all, doesn't it? She's calling us to deepen our relationship with God, to pray more, to ask for her help.
So, you know, they were praying for France back then, just after the war. It makes you think, what should we be praying for now? What are the big challenges facing our countries, the world? And Mary, she kept saying, pray for sinners. What does that mean for us? How can we do that in our everyday lives? And that idea of sacrifice, it's tough, but it's part of our faith. How can we offer up our struggles, our pain for others? I think Little Bouchard, it's a good reminder that prayer is powerful and that Mary, she's always there for us, ready to help.
It's a lot to think about, right? It's an invitation to pray more, to trust in Mary's love, her power to intercede for us, to really take those messages to heart and apply them to our own lives, to the world around us. It's a challenge, but it's a beautiful one.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for, for taking this deep dive with me. And to all you listeners out there, keep the faith.
Yeah, keep the faith.
Oh.
And pray. Pray for each other, for the world. We need it now more than ever.
We do. We really do.
Absolutely.